All right, y'all, this is a highly requested third video of my biggest experiences of DMT. I went over my first time and my first time part 2. Now I'm going to go over what the second and third hit is like. So I'm just going to go right into it. I've told you guys about the first hit makes everything feel like it's an altered version of your regular world around you, ever so slightly, but so apparently is everything shifted in a way that seems alien, and you're instantly slapped with surprise. It takes you at least 20 seconds to ground yourself, or at least for me, but most people feel the same way. For me, man, it takes me at least a minute of my shortly lived 5-minute experience. If I don't decide to take another hit and focus on that first hit, it takes me about a whole minute to ground myself and really realize that I need to chill out and just think of what I'm actually seeing. And it's so strange because if you were to put my visual sight on a TV, and look at it sober, you might not feel the same way, but there's this feeling in the room. I mean, honestly, in the way it looks too, that is just so surprising, because there's nothing about it that's a hallucination, yet it is so alien. Everything is so sharp and so, it's like the world has life to it and you don't know what it is. But let me tell you guys about the second hit. I always have somebody with me when I take more than one hit, because it's complicated to light up the pipe by yourself, because you're all disoriented. Your body doesn't feel as normal as it does when you're sober. So I take the second hit, hold it in, and before I could even exhale, I close my eyes and I'm in another place. And it almost reminds me of when you watch a movie and someone wakes up in a hospital with very bright white luminescent lights, or whatever the fuck the word is for that. It's like so shiny, but it's a similar vibe to that, but it's not just pure white. Sometimes it is, but it often has a circus-like feel to it, where there's multiple colors going on at the same time, and it's filled with beings, and usually the feeling you get telepathically, because these things don't speak in proper English. I mean, I'd be concerned of the legitimacy of this type of experience if they spoke proper English, you know what I mean? But they don't speak in pure English, they speak in telepathy, basically. Like, you feel what they're saying to you, and they also speak through vibrations. And it sounds like this. What it feels like they're saying to me when I'm there is that it's okay. It often feels like they love me, but oftentimes it's either one or the other. It's either they feel like they love me and they're so happy to see me again, or there are other entities that are there at my arrival that end up saying really nothing. It's like they are absent to empathy. They're just indifferent to the fact that I have feelings, and they just are there to operate on me. They feel as though they're going into me and out of me, in through my nose, out through my eyes, back in through my ears, pulsing at me, trying to pick my brain or figure me out because I'm in their space. And that's when it often becomes very creepy. But I enter the space that seems like somewhere I shouldn't really know about. And I'm convinced that this is a place you go to when you die or something. It's more real than whatever we're in right now, and it kind of pisses me off when people who are spiritual, who are so obsessed with God and the Bible and aliens, if aliens are real, when curious people are too afraid or completely dismiss a conversation with this topic, because this is the secret. This is everything you could ever want to know about the spiritual realm, and it's real. It's endogenous in our brains. We all have it. So obviously it has something to do with our interface on the world and how we react to things, and basically it could be the very thing that creates consciousness itself, but that's my very ignorant idea of it. But you know, you can only wonder what its true purpose is in our bodies is. But yeah, so that's about the second hit, right? The second hit is a little tame. I've never quite broken through, as far as I could tell. I mean, my memory is not that sharp when it comes to looking back on my experiences and knowing how deep I've gone, because it drifts away like a dream. You might remember flashbacks of it, you know, up to 2 to 3 months or even years after, but to be honest with you, the sharpest memories you could have is up to probably a month after it's happened. And then every now and then, if you smell it, or just throughout the day, you might get a very sharp flashback of what even a second in that world felt like, and it's pretty intense. But I've had a trip where I've kind of rejected the smoke around the third hit, just out of fear of forgetting English, because I've actually forgotten English after I came back from a couple of trips prior. This was a night where I had taken DMT probably 3 times, and then I went for a 4th time, just going back and forth with my friends and my brother, almost like that movie Talk to Me, where they hold the hand and they just experience something so crazy that shouldn't be real, and they come back to reality, and it's just almost funny. It's almost hilarious how we're just messing with like fucking the universe, essentially. This is the most bizarre shit ever. It's genuinely hilarious to think that, you know, my brother and my friend and I have, you know, spent like 5 hours on some nights just, you know, swapping the fucking pipe back and forth in taking turns ripping through the galaxy or whatever we were in. But there is this one nightmarish trip where I had rejected that third hit just out of fear of a slightly uncomfortable prior experience, and I guess the rejection of the lack of surrendering intensified it so much more than it should have. It felt like God was ragdolling me through multiple different dimensions, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't know what was up, what was down. I didn't know, you know, if I was just stuck in between space and time. I could feel slightly the pull of this reality that we call home and we call life, but it was so slippery, and it made me think within that 3-minute window of my trip that I was never coming back. And it felt like my brain was being twisted and pulled on by God, literally. It felt like there was another thing that was toying with it. Just, it was not fun. I wouldn't say evil, but it was almost a jokester, like a joker like attitude to it. And I remember just feeling like I was drowning on my couch, just gripping for my pillow. And it was actually funny because my brother recorded it, and it looked like I was kind of just, you know, like just flopped to my side and was hugging a pillow for a second. But man, it felt like it lasted a whole ass hour, but it was only like 3 minutes. And it's funny looking at the recordings because it's so like, it's so chill. Like it looks like you're just low-key like just chilling for a second. But yeah, you come back, man. Every time you come back, it's my favorite part. You know, you come back and whoever you're with, whoever your trip sitter is, they're looking at you with anticipation. And in your mind, you know, you were just somewhere completely bizarre, and now you're finally landing back on Earth. You're very quickly coming back to your senses, but, you know, just in comparison to where you were, you're completely down, but it feels as though, I mean, whatever you still see is still crazy as fuck. But like I said, you just perceive it as you're completely down because of where you were. And you could sense the fact that your friends are trying to tell you, like, to tell them what you just experienced. And also you're kind of thankful for like the fact that you even have friends that are still with you. And it's funny that there's a place in this space and time where, you know, you do have friends that are constantly there for you. And it makes me really happy. There's this big afterglow that I feel, but you know, although you know they want you to tell them the story of what happened, they often tell me or ask if I saw anything or felt anything. And it's really funny because you just think that it's quite obvious that almost everyone in the room should have felt what you felt, because you feel like that experience just took over reality itself. I mean, this stuff really shows you how malleable life itself is. It's slippery. It's not as constructed and structurally sound, or whatever you want to say, as you believe it to be. It's really just all subjective, man. Everything you see, everything you do is so custom tailored to your human experience that allows you to just interact with the world to survive. It's like a shield. It's like a shield distracting you from the confusion of true objective reality. And I don't think we'll ever know what that is until we die, but this is the closest thing that you can get to actually seeing the secret of life, aside from probably taking ayahuasca or 5-MeO DMT, which is completely different from DMT. But ayahuasca is DMT, just in like a long form version, less intense but still very intense to honestly everybody. But it's just as it is. It's less intense because it's in like a tea brew or whatever, and it's slow digesting or whatever. But it's a crazy experience, guys. Let me know your experience. Let me know if anything that I said kind of resonated with your prior experiences. I know I go back and forth and stuff all the time with what I'm saying, but this stuff isn't always linear. But yeah, y'all, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos. I have some other experience stories, some more fucked up than others. This one is probably a little more tamed and less edited. This is a pretty raunchy channel, but yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you, guys.